6 o'clock, we do have a quorum. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Harry Adams.
Here.
Brittany Branham.
Here.
Shaq Branham.
Here.
Debbie Gearhart.
Here.
Rick Hughes.
Here.
B.D. Nunnery.
Here.
Josh Turner.
Here.
And Don Lewis.
Here.
All right. Shaq, you guys do that.
Bow our heads and word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be here to serve the community and the citizens thereof. Give us the strength, the wisdom, and the guidance to do what is your will. In Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Everyone, please stand up, face the flag. Sing the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone, please face the flag of the Commonwealth, and let's do that pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
Kentucky flag and to the sovereign state for which it stands, one commonwealth, blessed with diversity, natural wealth,
and beauty,
and grace from on high.
Thank you all. Have a seat. All right. We got some stuff we gotta get into tonight. So let's go to visitors first. We have any visitors who want to speak? All right. The public comments. Any public that would be with visitors. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business from the last meeting? We do. Jane, you're up.
Okay.
Jane is from lifeguard. He's a lifeguard or you work for other guys?
I work for Global Medical Response. As of January 1, I have lifeguard. And I've worked for Area Back Life Team, a medical provider here in the county, and for the last 20 years. I've been a regional director there. As of January 1, our parent company bought, last year there was some parent company bought ground as well. So I've inherited the ground EMS service named Lifeguard EMS of Eastern Kentucky. I formally came into that role January 1, so this is my first meeting here. I'm not sure what all the previous discussions may or may not have been regarding this topic, but Mayor Stapleton and I have been meeting over the past few weeks, actually, kind of got a little bit of a head start before January 1, about a shared services agreement, or basically where we at Lifeguard would lease some of your staff to assist us to respond to 911 calls in the county should we being Lifeguard not be available to respond in a timely manner. So we've kind of batted this, I don't know whether everyone has received the contract or not. Okay, you got them tonight. Okay, so kind of the premise of it is, or the bullet point is, we provide an ambulance, fully staffed, or fully equipped. All the medical supplies would be restocked at our Floyd County station. Currently, the city fire department, if there's a 911 call, they respond on every call. So on those medical calls, they would go ahead and respond in an ambulance. And if there was not a ground, we didn't have an ambulance ready to respond, then your crews under our contract would be able to go ahead and transport those patients as well. Right now, that is their limitation. So I think it's kind of the best of both worlds in that you have EMTs and paramedics that work at your station here. Apparently there's 2 stations. I haven't even had an opportunity to get out and see where the other one's at yet. But we give that extra added layer of support to EMS in this community without having to go through or wait for any sort of certificate of need process. Now, in that, we've kind of talked about details. We share a medical director already, Dr. Bart Francis. So he would be the medical director. Those crews would work under him, under the Lifeguard EMS policies and procedures or medical protocols if they were responding to and transporting to medical calls. There would be a little bit of onboarding that would have to be done, some requirements that we've agreed to as far as EVOC, that emergency vehicle training. We have a higher standard at lifeguard than the state requires, so our standard is a 16-hour course instead of a 4-hour course. They'd be doing their documentation in our MEDS electronic charting. We would pay the city $1,500 a month. We needed to start somewhere. Don't know what that's gonna look like, but $1,500 a month for the lease of your staff whenever they were actually having to transport a patient. Any other insurances? That's a big question. We both already carry insurance on vehicles and all of that, so we would both maintain those. You cannot insure my ambulances, so I would continue to maintain insurance on the liability insurances on the ambulances. For workers' comp, that would be something that the city is maintaining for those employees. For medical malpractice, that is something that is our protocols, our medical director, so we would be responsible for any medical malpractice insurance.
That was an issue in the contracts prior.
Okay,
They had us following their policies and their procedures, yet we were 100% responsible for all medical liability and everything else. And my thoughts on it was, if we're gonna follow their policy procedures, they need to be responsible. You can't take responsibility for what somebody else develops. So, and I think we have that worked out now.
yes,
As we discussed before, we have discussed it, and it's been, there's two things going on at the same time. I'm trying to work a contract with you guys. I'm also filing for a CON too, scheduled meeting for the city of Preston. And that's something that we started quite some time ago, before you even came on board. We started initiating that, so. But I want to make sure that y'all get a copy of this, look over it. Obviously, we can't vote or anything like that, but y'all can do due diligence on it. But I want to tell you that she's been pretty good to work with. And we have to figure out what is the best for the city of Prestonsburg. And Jane and I have some quite good conversations back and forth, and understanding that it's business and it's nothing personal, and we've had very good conversations. I know everybody's main question is going to be, how's it been of late? Chief Brown, would you care to step in, please?
Okay. Hold the question.
Lately, Chief, how has our responses been from lifeguard?
They've been very well lately. Lately they have. Lately they have.
Well, I mean,
Lately being 6 weeks? Month?
3 weeks to a month.
Okay.
that's better.
Now, you guys got questions?
Is this a concerted effort just happened recently under direction from administration, or is this something that is going to take hold and continue? Because it certainly didn't continue previous to the past 3 or 4 weeks. So is this something that was a directive? Let's get a handle on this because the citizens aren't being handled appropriately.
this is my directive.
Okay, so this has just started, and this is what's going to happen going forward?
It is, or we will take the appropriate actions to make corrections. I will hold people accountable. We have to set some expectations, and we have to set some processes, and we have to provide the leadership. I've told folks that my leadership style is of servant leadership. My job is to provide the people with the tools to do their job and remove the obstacles. But in that, I also will then hold you accountable. If you have the tools that you need to do your job, and there are no obstacles in the way of doing it, our job is to provide service, to provide access to the community. And I'm willing to look at different, new, collaborative ways. We don't have to do the things just because that's the way we've always done it. We're going to work together to take care of our citizens.
I need to add to that when she talked about new, this is the first time this has ever been taken, this contract in the state of Kentucky. Matter of fact, KB applied a bid just to see if it's something it could legally do. And they have come to the conclusion that we can with certain stipulations, which are this is something that they're going to have time to digest, do the due diligence on. I'm sure they'll be asking questions of the fire department, me, and other people, because they have to. That's their job. And if you guys got any questions you want to ask directly to Jane or Chief Brown, right now is a good opportunity.
Well, and I did have some preliminary conversations with the Kentucky Board of EMS, but I have not shared the full contract with them yet, because I didn't want to do that prematurely.
This is as close to a final draft as you and I can come up with, I think. And it's up to you guys to look at it and decide, because obviously I can't sign a contract without approval. And again, I've been straight up to Jane the whole time, we are still moving forward our CON process.
Well, your CON, I understand, is for a safety net. And I can't speak for everybody here, but I feel that the last thing we want to do is get in the ambulance business. However, we still have to take care of the citizens, and when you have 30 minutes to an hour wait on people in critical condition, we just can't do it.
That's why we're.
Is that pretty close?
That's exactly why we're where we're at right now. I will say this.
So welcome on. Come on.
I'll do as much as I can. I'll work
We're
as fast as I can, but there's no silver bullet. There's nothing we can do today that's gonna just fix everything. But I'm willing I'm willing to take different approaches to get the service.
As long as we're working on the problem. And like I say, if it's better in the last 3 weeks than it was, and it continues on to be, that's the goal. You know.
I will say that they had personnel issues. They didn't have enough. And
Right.
we had, we got here 17, 18, 16.
Yes, we've got 14 EMTs, 3 paramedics.
Okay, so we have 17 people here on staff. That's why we initially started with this contract type deal. We thought it would be effective, be the easiest, quickest way for us to get stuff on. We thought you'd get emergency CON, apparently you can't. And there is a bill that she's fighting me on, that we've already met with some people on. We're gonna try to pass a bill that municipalities and state and governments can file for, can skip the CON process only for 911 calls. That's all it's for. Because I'll be honest with you, had we had that opportunity 4 months ago, we'd already had our own ambulances, and you guys know as well as I do, because you already.
It was bad. And I'm glad, when you got people calling, why isn't there an ambulance here? Why don't we have one? Where's it at? And I'm not in the ambulance business, and it's tough to answer to people when you're in the.
It is, and
That's what we're
you
doing.
have my card. I'll leave some extras on the table or something for anybody who wants to direct those calls to either myself or to Reed is our account executive. Obviously, I can't be everywhere all the time, but we will respond. We will look into it. We will see why we weren't able to meet an expectation. I can't guarantee you that we're always going to have an ambulance available. We thought we would never need more than 4 ambulances on shift in McGoffin County, and we're so excited we had 4 ambulances on shift, and we still went to level 0. Things happen. You can't always plan ahead for 911.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yes.
And I'm gonna trust you're gonna tell me the truth, because you've not been dishonest with me yet. Where's the money at? Is it in transfers, dialysis, the doctor's appointment, or is it in 911?
To be honest, I can't answer that question because I still don't have access to all the systems and programs.
Kenny?
I'm in Nashville next week, or actually tomorrow. I'm in Nashville tomorrow with our finance guy getting finance training on how to access those programs, but I can't give you an honest answer because I don't know.
Okay, you'll find that out for me?
I will. I'll find it out
Because
for
that
you.
is something that I think is important to us. Again, we're not in it to make money, and the council and I, I've talked to all of them individually at different times when I run into them in town. What we're gonna do about ambulance? Our important part is 911.
Well, and-
We don't wanna get involved in the ambulance business. I'll be honest with you, it's a liability. Fiscally, it could be an issue for us. But now, we had to take a look at it, and that's why we're all here today, is try to figure this out. And I appreciate you coming out today to do this, I sure do. As you can see, she and I had a very candid conversation.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
plain talk's easily understood.
Don't have to worry about it. That's right.
Thank you.
Any more questions, Albert?
I'm sure we'll have some after we read this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give them a couple days to read it,
Sure.
and then if need be, we'll see where it
I'll
goes.
be back.
Jane, thank you.
Thank you.
Bill, you got anything to say?
No, sir.
Bill, it's the first.
She said it all.
I'm picking up Bill there. All right, that was unfinished business. Any more unfinished business? New business, first reading of ordinance number 01-2020.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Prestonsburg, Kentucky, establishing a regular meeting time of the City Council to be the third Monday of each month at 6 p.m.
All right, no discussion on that because it is the first reading. Approved resolution number 01-2020.
A resolution reaffirming the City of Prestonsburg's oath and dedication to the United States Constitution and its commitment to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
I need a motion.
So moved.
I need a second. Discussion? I will tell you what this involves. This involves the Second Amendment sanctuary county or cities, and we have diligently looked into this, discussions and everything else. Again, we're such a small town, we run into each other all the time. So the city wants, we as administration want to make a statement, basically. The City of Prestonsburg's administration and our council have been receiving some concerned comments about our stance on Second Amendment sanctuary county or cities. The resolution we're passing is in support of the county to become a Second Amendment sanctuary county. We are passing this resolution to reaffirm our dedication to our duty for our citizens and our resolve to adhere to our constitutional oath that we committed to when we took our offices. The first line of the oath states, "I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the Commonwealth." We want the citizens of Prestonsburg to know that we do and will uphold our Constitution and all of its amendments. It is our understanding that the Floyd County Physical Court will be voting on the Second Amendment sanctuary county tomorrow evening at their meeting. Prestonsburg will support the county in their decision to become a Second Amendment sanctuary county. Should there be issues arise, our council will meet and take the issue up at that time. Any discussion from any of the council? Call a vote. We did just do it. All right. All in favor? All opposed? Thank
We
you.
need to do the first reading on the animal ordinance. I just forgot to list it on here, but everybody's got it.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jim. Okay, an ordinance of the Prestonsburg City Council amending ordinance number 5-2009 to add all domesticated animals to be covered in guidelines for adequate care.
This is the first reading, so we'll do no discussion. All right. We have an opening at the MAC board. We actually have two openings at the MAC board. And the first opening is Suzanne Hayden to the MAC board to replace Willard Cantor, who put his resignation in at the last meeting.
I'd like to make a motion with appoint Suzanne.
I have a motion, need a second.
Second.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Somebody's gonna fall out over there? Good. It's already started.
Florida's the real sanctuary.
It's already started. All right. The ayes have it. Suzanne will be added to that board. We also have a council position open. And Rick Hughes is very, very interested in that. Matter of fact, he's the one that brought it back to my attention that we still had that position open for the MAC board. And I guess the best way to do it, how many people's interested in it?
I'm already on it.
Yeah, you look at
Okay.
I've always showed interest in it, but, you know, I mean, it's been a long time since I mentioned it.
it. Yeah.
The company I work for donates too much money there, so I don't think it'd be good for me.
I just had an interest in it because of my love for music and past with music and
Well,
stuff,
it's
so.
been open for a while, since Tim left.
It's been cool, yeah, and I didn't realize it, so it was actually Rick brought it to my attention, Rick was sharing, so. I guess we need to take a vote, or one of you guys need to step up and say, I'm on or I'm off. However, I'm not sure what. Hey clerk, what's the best way to handle this?
Don't know, never had to fight for anything. To be on something.
Actually, I believe
Yeah,
it's-
well, it might be.
Usually everybody just looks down for
the
shoes.
mayor
They
makes
don't want
a
to do
choice and
it.
presents it to council's how it's supposed to be.
Mayor, make us a recommendation.
You make a recommendation and the council says,
Yeah, your name.
Gee, thanks, guys.
Well, you know, we probably could check and make sure it's full, because if not, both of them are a citizen, so, you know, you have a council appointment, but you also have like so many from each county, so.
You know, as a matter of fact, we do have one position that's open. They took a job out of town,
Mhm.
and Stephanie Richards.
Yep.
So
So, I mean, it's not
she
just,
will be putting her resignation in probably this week when I talk to her. She just started a new job out of town, so that would take care of both of them.
Mhm.
So I would need a motion recommending both of them to the MAC board, one of them as a citizen, one of them as a council, and the citizen being able to take the position once the resignation is filed by the Pike County representative right now.
How do you, if you're required to have like 2 city councilmen on it, then you end up with 3 on it? I
well,
don't- will that
he
work
won't
out?
be a councilman, he'll be a Floyd County
Is
representative.
there a
Unless he
Each county,
resigns, he's a councilman.
each,
Is there a
each
voting?
won't be
county
decided.
gets,
Yeah, but sometimes the council is only appointed to boards for reporting back to full councils. I don't know how that is written.
This is
Some of them,
just,
there's
this
not
is just an
voting reg-
advisory board.
That's what I'm saying, though,
nothing-
there's, just like, we set up, what was it, the Parks and Rec Board, the Stonecrest, the Equine Center, I believe, and any council member that was appointed had no voting right on that board,
They do
but
vote.
reported back to the council.
They do vote. I do report back to the council on that stuff.
So
They will have a voting opportunity whether bylaws are set up. So I need to have it now. Sharon come up with a problem, she bailed me
Well,
out.
we have to have one, obviously we don't have the other yet, we can't do one or the other, so which one's first?
We could do it pending her resignation. They go and get on board.
I'll make the motion to accept the mayor's
The
recommendation.
motion I made,
Yeah,
the motion stating that,
And if it's legal,
and
you
if
can
it's,
do the other, if it's okay to do that.
it is legal to go ahead and.
no, we're worried about having a dual, someone who's serving in dual
By
capacity.
the bylaws, it doesn't make a difference, they're bylaws stuff. And they're there as voting capacity just to be advisors to the board, not to manage or do any type of operational stuff.
I'll say this, if you guys go ahead and do that, and and I would like to be on there, but if there does come a problem, I'll be the one to step off and let Rick do it, how about that? If I can do it, I'd love to do it, if it works out the way we think it is.
I'll make a motion to accept Rick Hughes as the council person appointed to the board, advisory board. And in addition, I'll make the recommendation David Gerhardt would be appointed in response to an allowance of a resignation, an impending resignation.
Second. I have a second. All in favor? All opposed? Congratulations, guys. All right.
Oh, by the way, Mac meets tomorrow.
All right, we need a surplus of senior citizen vehicles, one of those 2005 Ford Freestyles. It's got all kinds of mechanical issues that,
It's a fine working piece when James puts it on the internet.
oh yeah, when he puts it on.
It runs and drives.
Yeah, it runs and drives. Moves from point A to point B.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Most of that far apart.
I need a motion,
So moved.
need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Decide here. Opposed? Need a motion to approve bills.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion, need a second.
Second.
I have a second, all in favor? All opposed? I just received an email today that we need to go into executive session under 61.810 subsection 1 subsection 3 to do with litigation. It will have to do with development since the last meeting of some litigation going on.
I'll make
I have a motion, need a second.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Y'all please excuse us, it's gonna take one hour. I need a motion. I have a motion to come out of executive session, I have a second, all in favor? All opposed? Do we have any further business before the council? Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor? All opposed?